BMW has bought a Cybertruck and they've shipped it all the way from the United States to Germany for this reason. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. This is kind of humorous, but first of all, guys, I want to say a big thank you to our Patreon supporters. Had a couple of Patreon supporters come in, and I really appreciate your support. It's been incredibly invaluable. So yeah, if you'd like to support us on Patreon, I'll put a link in the description below. I'm really quite surprised that Germany have done this. They've tried to hide the fact that they've shipped and somehow gotten hold of a Cybertruck. I'm guessing they bought one at auction quietly through someone's name who wasn't affiliated with BMW, which is the reason we didn't know about this until now. So they've shipped it all the way to Germany and tried to hide it. A photo of a large and obviously triangle-shaped vehicle under covers was seen at BMW's Research and Innovation Center, which is actually in Munich, in Germany. And this shows you that, BMW is about to tear down the Cybertruck. Now, I think it's a good idea to do this. I just think it's kind of weird that BMW went and bought this secretly and then tried to hide it by putting covers over the top. And it's obvious that people are going to figure out what it was. Obviously, BMW was just hoping that no one would. But come on. We live in the internet world. We live on the cell phone cameras are everywhere world. This was never going to work. Well, now that the Cybertruck's out, we know Porsche bought one and then they resold it about a month later. We've also seen other manufacturers apparently have bought one as well. I believe Ford purchased a Cybertruck for, I think it was about 160,000, might have been 150,000. It was a lot of money, whatever they paid. And if you want to see the video on that one, by the way, I've got a video on a link in the description below. Now, Elon Musk responded to seeing Ford purchase the Cybertruck, and he said, "Good deal." I don't know if he was just taking the piss or whatever, but I thought that was kind of amusing. Cybertrucks, there's none in Europe. A lot of people say that they won't pass safety pedestrian regulations. That's written everywhere as though it's gospel, as though it's fact. Even Electric says that's the case. However, I don't think that's true, guys. There's plenty of vehicles in Europe that, like trucks, for example, that have, similar kind of scenario where people would say they won't pass pedestrian safety regulations, but somehow they do. So anyway, Elon Musk has responded to that, by the way. He said it's not true. Cybertruck will pass European pedestrian safety regulations, and it's a myth that people are perpetuating for some reason. I don't know, people do this with Tesla. Anyway, I've got to say I was surprised to see a car transporter just take the Cybertruck by itself, and that BMW would think if they covered it up, no one would notice. These photos were actually published by Nextmove, which is a German EV rental company that has a YouTube channel. So yeah, this is their channel, guys. If you want to see it, check it out. Nextmove. Nextmove, thank you for taking this video. It's quite intriguing to see BMW do this. The photos were sent in by a viewer that took them on the 4th of April at 7:45 a.m. Basically right near BMW's Research and Innovation Center. Now it's very clear BMW have bought this vehicle for tearing it down, and this is common by manufacturers. There's nothing wrong with this. I think, why not? I actually give BMW credit for doing this. It's great. I give them credit for doing it, but not credit for trying to hide it in a weird way. They should have just said, "Hey Tesla, we're going to buy a Cybertruck, we're going to tear it down, thanks very much." And Tesla would have said, "Sure, go for it." I mean, Tesla can't stop automakers from doing this. BMW, interestingly, doesn't make a pickup truck. It's never made one as far as I know. I googled it, can't find any BMW pickup trucks other than weird ones people have made themselves by, cutting the back off a car or something like that and turning it into a sort of a pickup bed. But anyway, yeah, BMW never actually made one. But interestingly, people are saying that BMW shouldn't have done this. They're saying there's nothing in the Cybertruck's 48 volt system that's revolutionary. The only thing BMW would want to look at is the actual cylindrical cells. No, if you said that, I've seen that's a comment getting around. That's just idiocy, because why would BMW open up the Cybertruck to look at the cylindrical cells when the Tesla Model Y with the same cylindrical cells has been out now for what, a year and a half? It's been out for a long time, right? So you're telling me that BMW bought a Cybertruck at auction in America, shipped it all the way over to Germany just to have a look at the 4680 cylindrical battery cells. That's the theory getting around. The 48 volt applications are completely useless. All the new technology in the Cybertruck's completely useless, apparently, according to some of these EV websites. All they care about is the 4680 cells, which are also apparently completely useless, according to these wacky websites that are telling us this stuff. Guys, you cannot believe this. It's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. I can't believe they publish this kind of information. I don't publish. You guys probably wonder why I don't publish all this negative news about Tesla, because most of it's just ridiculous. Some of it's true, but the majority of it's ridiculous. And it's so ridiculous, it's like, what do you choose? Do you choose a level ridiculous of 1,000 or a level ridiculous of 1,000,000? Anyway, obviously, the Cybertruck actually is a pretty revolutionary vehicle in a number of different ways. So if BMW just wanted the 4680 cylindrical cells, which they've copied, by the way, they're making a slightly bigger cell, slightly taller, but pretty similar cylindrical cell, which they've decided is the future of EVs for BMW. Good on them. If they really wanted that, they could have actually just called Tesla and said, can we have one? Or just bought it from Tesla, or they could have just bought a Tesla Model Y within the last 18 months instead, and they could have done that in America, and then just taken it apart in America and gone, oh, there it is, sent it off to Munich. Instead, they purchased an entire Cybertruck. Whoever came up with this genius theory that's been published around now is an absolute doofus, hasn't thought it through. This is what happens, though. I think this is what happens when you hate Tesla, you say things that sound ridiculous and you make them sound logical in your own mind. Because you hate something, because the emotion's clouding your judgment, it sounds purely logical to you. Anyway, one of the other things that I think BMW are probably the most interested in the Cybertruck is the steer-by-wire. Automakers have been trying to make steer-by-wire work in their cars now for more than a decade, and none of them have succeeded yet. That's actually the most revolutionary thing in the Cybertruck, steer-by-wire, which is, of course, the ability to not have to have the pedal mechanically connected to the steering wheel. It's a huge advantage in many, many ways. Variable steering, automakers have tried to implement variable steering to various degrees of success. None of them anywhere near as successfully as the Cybertruck has, and that's just simply an objective fact. It's not even a question. The Cybertruck's ability to turn quickly in tight spaces and then, of course, have a slow steering ratio when it's at speed is revolutionary. It hasn't been done before to the degree that the Cybertruck can do it. The digital interface there that Tesla worked out is truly remarkable. I think they should be given more credit than what they are for that. I've mentioned that a few times now. So last month, a Cybertruck was spotted outside Ford's proving grounds in Detroit. And apparently Ford went through that vehicle and are taking that apart. So kudos to Ford. But I mean, take away my kudos, minus kudos to Ford for pausing their plans for their new electric truck, their version 2, to focus on hybrids because they're losing too much money on EVs. They're going to lose apparently $6 billion this year. But that's what you've got to do when you start up. I mean, look at NIO. They lost $3 billion last year on top of the many billions they've lost over the last few years. And, they didn't just go crying home to mummy and say, we're just going to focus on hybrids. They said, you know what? EVs are the future. We have to continue down that path. Thanks for watching.